Hamas was told by Witkoff, they say, that on the second day after Alexander's release, that the U.S. would compel Israel to lift the blockade. And of course, that didn't happen. The other component of it, Ryan, was that Hamas says that they were told by Witkoff that President Trump, and mind you of the timing of this, it's right as Donald Trump is about to head to the Gulf to go to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. So right before that happened, they were told that Donald Trump was going to publicly call for an immediate ceasefire and for serious negotiations to begin on reaching a long-term truce or permanent ceasefire. Donald Trump barely mentioned Gaza at all on his trip in the Gulf last week. So from Hamas's perspective, they had given away what they considered to be their most valuable captive that they were holding. Of the 59 living and dead Israeli, and then there was one living American, Edan Alexander, 4 bodies of Americans, but the remainder of the people held in Gaza, Hamas says, are Israeli soldiers. Why do I bring up the notion of it being valuable? Valuable because there are more than 10,000 Palestinians, many of whom I think could rightly be designated as hostages being held by Israel, that Hamas and the Palestinian resistance are only able to liberate from Israeli captivity by exchanging Israeli captives that they hold in Gaza. And Edan Alexander probably would have gotten the highest number of Palestinians out. So it was a gamble for Hamas on one of the core aims that they cited for Operation Al-Aqsa Flood, which was to free Palestinian prisoners. And so last Friday, I spoke to Bassem Naim, who was a former minister in the Hamas government in Gaza and is one of the leading figures within Hamas's political bureau. And he told me on the record that Steve Witkoff personally had made these assurances, and that Hamas understood that that there was a gamble about whether or not Trump was going to make a public pronouncement when he visited the Gulf, but that they actually felt that they were doing the right thing for Gaza, even though it was a gamble, because they believed that the Trump administration would, in fact, move swiftly to try to get aid into Gaza, in part because Trump has talked about it a few times, the starvation of the people of Gaza. So that didn't happen.